In this video, we're taking a look at the brand new SH4 Gen 2 6-24x50 rifle scope from Arken Optics. Is it now the brand new class leader in the under $500 category? And more importantly, should competitors at twice the price be very concerned? Let's take a look. What's up, everybody? Welcome Squad Squad, and welcome to Slav Guns and to my Slav cave, where I will be hanging out for the cold winter months. Yes, I'm a Slav, but it still sucks to be shooting outside in the cold and like sub 30 degree weather. It really does suck. What I have here is something that I'm truly excited about, particularly as it relates to our precision rifle series. I have a couple of content creator friends of mine who unfortunately are not able to pick up their packages in the United States, so they had them shipped to my house so I can temporarily play with them, and I am damn glad that I had a chance to play with this. What this is the brand new Arken SH4 Gen 2 rifle scope. Now, I previously did have an Arken SH4 Gen 1, 4-14 I believe, and while it was a really good scope, there were a couple of quirks with it, and which is why I just decided to pass up on doing a video on it. This scope, however, is highly recommended by a lot of industry partners and fellow content creators. So when my friend Alex asked me, hey, do you mind if I send it to you and hang on to it until I can pick it up, I was like, abso-freaking-lutely, I would love to do that. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at what's in the box, then we'll discuss the features, we'll discuss why it's such a big deal, and then I'm going to throw it onto a rifle, and then we're going to go outside and do some initial image quality tests with it. Now, this is going to be a first look video, so I'm not going to be spending a lot of time with this rifle scope, and we're not going to be sending a bunch of rounds downrange with it. I am hoping that I should have one of these, one of my own, in the next couple of weeks, and as soon as I do, at that point I'll have a more detailed, and then we'll just do a longer term detailed review on this optic. In either case, I want to make sure that I'm going to be able to answer your questions and provide lots of value. So let's get started. Let's open it up. Okay, so inside the box, you will have a well-packaged scope. This is not the fanciest packaging that you're going to find in the industry. However, for the value, everything is exactly as it should be. More importantly, the scope is well packaged. Arken does offer this scope with some extras, and we'll discuss those a little bit later on. So they are located in this box. The scope itself, let's pull that out. Styrofoam on top. You are going to get a nice set of rubber lens covers that I generally never use, although I probably should. You do get a sunshade that the scope is going to come with, and that is actually a really good deal. And we have styrofoam packaging on this side. Okay, and then most importantly for you to keep in mind, and as Arken puts it, you do have maximum torque values of 15 inch-pounds when you're going to put the mount. Okay, then and you do have the manual. If you're purchasing this from Arken, you're also going to have the ability to add on what they call the precision pack. Now, the precision pack is going to include, inside this box, and so the scope is going to come with a battery, an Allen wrench, and a cleaning cloth with Allen bolt to adjust the zero stop. Okay, so the extras. With the extras, with the precision pack, you are going to get a throw lever, which you would install right on the magnification ring, which is going to allow you to more easily adjust the magnification while you're at the range. With this one, I didn't find that it was completely necessary, but it's definitely a good plus to have. Reason why I don't count it as necessary is that the magnification ring is very smooth to adjust. Next, with the precision pack, you are going to get something that's very nice and worth the price itself, which is the Allen bolt. I'm kidding. It's actually this guy, which is a bubble level. Now, a bubble level is going to be critical for precision rifle shooting to make sure that your rifle is not going to be canted. Now, you will need another bubble level to make sure to install this and to make sure this is leveled. With the precision pack, and honestly, I think this should have just been included, you're also going to get a patch. Now, I know there's a bunch of people who frickin' love patches. I don't have a thing for patches yet. And it is going to have a sticker, and I am a sticker person. So this is what you're going to get inside the box. Okay, so let me put some of the stuff away, and then we will talk about the features. So why is this scope such a big deal? Well, number one is when you're getting into the precision rifle world, you have a whole bunch of people now who are not going to be starting out with a $2,000 semi-custom rifle and not even talking about a Ruger precision rifle for about $1,300 to $1,500. What they're going to be starting out with is going to be something like a Ruger American for right around $400. And the thing of it is, a lot of those rifles, such as the Savage 110, the Ruger American, the Howa 1500s, they are going to be accurate, and you're going to be able to get sub-MOA accuracies. You're going to be able to get sub-MOA accuracies out of those guns for under $500. And once somebody spends $500 on a rifle, it's typically going to be a little bit difficult to tell them, hey, now that you spent $400 or $500 on the gun, I need you to go out and spend $1,000 to get a good optic. Are there scopes for $200, $300, $400? Yes, but generally you're going to be giving up a lot of features. What Arken is known for, we've always been known for really good image quality, fairly good turrets, and a good warranty, most of all at really, really, really good prices. So with the SH4 Gen 2, they've really leapfrogged their other products, and you're getting a bunch of value here. Number one is, as we discussed, it's a 6-24, which is going to be a good starting point for a precision rifle scope. You only have a 4-time erector, so from 6 to 24, 6 divided by 24 is 4. That is how we're able to keep the cost down a little bit more, particularly as a lot of the higher end scopes now, you're going to have either a 5-time erector, so like a 5 to 25, or even an 8-time erector, which we've seen with a number of scopes. To kind of get it out of the way, yes, this scope is manufactured in China, and that is how also we're able to control the costs. Now, with optics, it is made in China, so take it for what it is, and I would look at it from the perspective of if you're opposed to having a product made there, and not looking at it that, well, it's made in China, that means it's junk. Because one of the things with China is, if you want quality, you can get quality. If you want cheap, you can get cheap. This is definitely not a cheap product. It is very well manufactured, and from playing with it, I'm really highly impressed. And it doesn't kind of have that, I'm looking for something made cheap and made in China, and I can't exactly find anything here. But it's definitely a good feeling product, and especially when you think about it, I mean, the Vortex Strike Eagle for $800 is made in China as well, so take it for what it's worth. Number two, which is going to be impressive, is that you're going to have a lot of internal elevation adjustment. In particular, you have 32 mils of elevation adjustment, which is tremendous. It is going to be overkill for anybody who is going to be shooting primarily at 3, 4, 500, even 6, 8, even 1,000 yards with a modern caliber. However, once you start going past those distances, you will quickly need to have internal elevation adjustment. So 32 mils, let's say that your scope is going to be centered right around in half. So that means you have about 16 mils of usable adjustment. And 16 mils is just enough to get you out to a mile with, I believe, 6.5 PRC. That number kind of sticks in my head. The other place where this is going to be very good is going to be with 22s, such as that guy, where that gun is perfectly capable of shooting out to 300 yards. The only problem is 22 starts dropping like a rock, and you do need to have a good amount of internal elevation adjustment. And that is where I said the Vortex Strike Eagle would be a good place. And I think at nearly half the price, this would be an even better scope for the precision 22s, especially if you're competing in games such as NRL 22, where often you'll have targets anywhere from 150 to 300 yards. Okay, moving on. Along with that, you also have 10 mils of windage adjustment, which is quite good. All of that is possible because you have a 34 millimeter tube. Beyond those features, which definitely make up for the price, you also have a zero stop, a mechanical zero stop with this scope. This is absolutely not something that you're going to get with many scopes in this price range or even higher, and this is going to be a very nice feature to have. I've played with the zero stop a little bit. I like it quite a bit. However, in the next video, we'll take a look at exactly how to set it up and everything, but it is definitely very nice to have on the scope. Moving on, you do have parallax adjustment, which should be expected for any precision type or longer range scope. And here you have the parallax, which could be set from 25 yards to infinity. And along the same lines, you also have an illuminated reticle. On this scope, the entire reticle isn't illuminated. It's only the crosshairs in the middle, which is actually quite fine, I think, for most purposes. Where the illuminated reticle is going to come in handy is if you're shooting very early in the morning or very late in the evening, and you're shooting at dark targets, and you need to be able to see the crosshairs. If you're shooting this in the daytime, you're generally not going to be able to see it anyway because it's not going to be bright enough. What I do like about it is that it is on, off, instead of having, let's say, 10 on settings and then off. So you can quickly and easily change that. One of the things you should definitely expect with scopes, at least now, is to make sure that the reticle and the adjustments are both going to be in mils, or we're both going to be in MOA, so you don't have to mess around with the different adjustments or trying to do the calculations in your head as to how many mils is MOA. There were plenty of scopes that had mil reticle but had MOA adjustment. So that's the scope. What we're going to do is we're going to mount it in this mount. So Arken also has on their website rings and mounts, depending on whether you're going to be mounting it to an AR-15 or a traditional hunting rifle. I do like this mount very much. It's about 59 bucks and it feels great. So it's fairly slim where it needs to be, but it is rigid where it needs to be as well. It does use T25, Torx 25 screws all around, so you have 3 here and then 4 on each post. This mount is also a 20 MOA mount, so if you are using this with an AR-15, which obviously doesn't have a canted rail, this will give you 28 MOA worth of adjustment, so that's right around right around 7 mils worth of adjustment. So between 7 in the mount and let's say 16 usable, you're going to be right at around 23, 24 mils, which should get you past a mile pretty much with most calibers. So what I'm going to do is use my Fix-It Sticks kit. We're going to mount it, and then we are going to throw it on that gun. Yes, let's throw it on that gun, and we'll go outside. I will set up a target at 100 yards. Fortunately, I do have a big enough property that we can actually do that, but obviously I'm not going to be shooting. And we're going to take a look at the image quality. We're going to discuss the turret feel and my first impressions on the image quality. Overall, I'm really looking forward to this, and I do think this has the ability to upset a lot of big guys.
Okay. All right, we are here at the back of my property where I do have 100 yards, and we are going to get our first image quality through the Arken SH4 Gen 2 6-24 by 56. So I am looking forward to it. So I do have my Sony camera. So we should get pretty good image quality on here. What we're mostly looking at is to see how I have a target out there, and it's actually made to see how clearly we can see the lines and the digits on there. So I'm going to try to play with this, and I'll walk you through it.
All right. Okay, there's our target. Oh, I might as well have hit the record button. That would help. All right, so we have it right there. So this is on 6 power, and we're going to bring it up. So this is on 10, and we're at exactly right around 98 to 100 yards. So we're going to set our parallax to 100. Okay. So there's 24x. Now I am going to record this, and then I will give my commentary without the camera. Okay, so let's play with the parallax. This is at 24. I'm sorry, this is out to 25 yards. And this out to 100. And then out to infinity. So actually, let's zoom out. Okay, so that should be right around 330 yards or so. And of course, this is a front focal plane reticle. So as we are going up in magnification, the reticle does go up as well. Okay, so you can see the road. So this is zoomed out. And this is on full magnification. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to take this camera off, and then I will give you my impressions. Wow, this is nice. This is really nice. Okay. So we can definitely see out of the big ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we can clearly see it. And even the second set, we can make out the differences. The third set is going to be tougher to see.
overall not bad. All right, so light, there's a little bit. As we get onto the higher magnification, we do lose a little bit of light. Right around here, we're on 14. It's perfect. It is great. And we're actually filming, I have the sun coming right at us, so this is really, really good for it. All right, so let's see. Oh, the clicks are terrific. Oh, this is perfect. This is really nice turrets. So I haven't shot this at the range yet, so I haven't zeroed it. I'm just playing with the turrets. Terrific, very nice and precise. And it's one thing when you're indoors messing with the turrets. It's completely different when you're actually out in the field or at the range and you're playing with the turrets. I like the size of the turrets. They're actually nice and big. And nice precise clicks. If you want one click, you get one click. It's not like a lot of the turrets, the cheaper turrets, where you'll try to get one and it's going to be 2 or 3. Very nice. Magnification is nice and smooth throughout the focus range, without the range. Nice and consistent. The parallax is nice and smooth too. It's terrific. It's really, really, really nice. The parallax knob might be slightly off, so I have the target down there. Don't mind the chickens. I have the target down there at 100 yards, and when I put it on, for me, it was fairly spot on with indicating about 80. Although it's good enough for government work. All right, so let's try the illumination. All right, so that is the Arken SH4 Gen 2, and it's a hell of a scope. Okay.
The initial bottom line. I was excited to receive the scope. I'm grateful that I was able to receive the scope, or at least temporarily, and this is a big deal. Once again, this is the second Arken that I've played with. I've played with some of these at SHOT Show, and I came away fairly impressed. We had it mounted on the gun. I wish I really had a lot more time with this one because I think it is a big, big, big deal. Overall, I'm really impressed with the image quality. I do think it was very good image quality. However, I did have a chance to compare it with the Crimson Trace and the Athlon Ares BTR2, and both of those were a little bit sharper. Most of all, I'm really impressed with the fact that Arken does offer not just a lifetime warranty on the scope, they also offer a tracking warranty as well. So pretty much every optic is going to have tracking error, and it is going to be a big deal as you start going down range. As per Arken, these are expected to have right around under 1.5% tracking error. So if for whatever reason you bang your scope up or whatnot and the scope starts tracking poorly, they will make sure to take care of that as well. The only downside that I see right now with the scope is that it is manufactured by Arken. Arken is a newer company and they are busting their tail in order to bring you good quality product at great prices. Unfortunately, the demand so far exceeds the supply that it is available. So if you do have an issue or you are trying to order it, there might be a little bit of a delay. Could be a couple of weeks or possibly it could be a couple of months. And it is something that Arken has been criticized for in a number of websites, forums, and social media websites. So it is something definitely that you should consider. Otherwise, for the $399 price tag for the scope, if you can find one, I think this is by far right now, late 2020 and probably for 2021, this is going to be the best bang for the buck, bar none. And even if it was twice the price, I think it would still be worth it. The other thing that I would recommend that you do, that if you are buying this directly from Arken, absolutely buy the precision pack. I believe as long as it's still right around $40 or less, the bubble level and the throw lever are going to be worth it by itself. It does come with another bag, which I think is actually more suited as a brass bag rather than the rear bag. But it is a very good value and it's going to do quite well for you. So I think that's about it. That's my initial take on the Arken SH4 Gen 2 6-24 by 50 front focal plane rifle scope. I look forward to playing with mine when it comes to me. I'm going to get this one sent off to my buddy Alex, and he's going to do his detailed review on the scope, and I will leave a link in the description below both to his channel and his video once it is published. As always, thank you for watching, keep on squatting, and I'll see you in the next video.